Welcome.
Electric charging station is around here.
All right, 66. So after my last video on the Nova 5, I actually had some people visit my house, and they came inside and were like, listen, we saw your video. What are you doing going 68 miles an hour on the road on a dirt bike? And I said, whoa, whoa, hold on a second, Mom. Now she still wasn't too happy, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure I put on all the gear that I have. And there we go. This is the gear that I wear whenever I'm doing wheelie practice. So I hope this makes you feel a little bit better. This will be the last time, I promise, that I do this test, but we have to test it with the GPS on my phone, and I checked it to my truck, and it is really accurate as far as my vehicle. Now, my vehicle might be off, but my wife's vehicle, same thing. So got the same reading on my phone. We're gonna take it and on this closed course here and get the top speed for everybody. So I'm interrupting the previous video because I had a camera error. And so we need to get that top speed. I have 100% battery, and I'm gonna go ahead and see what the bike can do. Oh, lifting up. All right, 66. So it looks like it's wanting to max out today at 66, which is 59.5 or 4 on my phone. So we're gonna have to do that hit again, going the other way. All right, second hit. And there is a slight, like a breeze it feels like or something. So one of these directions might have some good wind resistance. Yeah, so this way I'm only getting 65 and it's showing 50, 58. All right, so as you saw, these two don't line up, and this one was pretty accurate with my truck. So we're gonna go by these numbers and say 59.6 is the top speed I've hit. Now, I weigh 170 pounds, I'm 5'7", so those numbers are gonna be calculated according to that. Everybody's gonna get different numbers, but the company was promising 53. And we've exceeded that number, so that's great. All right, so I saw a 7 mile an hour difference, and while that might not be huge to me, I don't know, I'm kind of new at doing tests top speed to GPS, but this definitely off. So I did get into the advanced settings and try to adjust something. It seems like if I keep a constant speed of around 45 or so, they're pretty similar. Now I did adjust something in the advanced settings. You hold down this button, you got your brightness, the time, which I don't know if that's really correct. Here's your units, imperial or metric, the 3 languages to choose from. We are on an 18-inch rear. The gear, so we're on a 48 tooth. It was set to a 58 tooth, but I didn't notice too much difference in the GPS. It was the same a second ago. But hold this down to get you out. So I'm definitely bummed that I missed those first shots, because this bike said I was doing 71 at one point, but I ran out of road and I saw a cop in the corner of my eye, so we're gonna do that. Also, I'm doing my best, Mom. You know, I'm wearing all my gear and I'm being as safe as I can. So having supermotos would definitely help out a lot. Now it's actually past time for lunch, so we're gonna head to a spot, feeling something light. So we're gonna just do a protein shake from this Sports Shack. This isn't a lunch ride, but I know some people just kind of wanted to see the bike riding around in traffic, see how it handles. So the brakes, whenever you slow down, are squeaking a lot. And I do want to mention that I haven't gotten a chance to ride this as much as I thought, because kids, life, all this other stuff, I haven't been able to really get out there. But I'm planning the next couple weeks to really ride and get a lot of footage on this bike. Ooh, electric scooter. Now while I'm headed to lunch, I do want to say that there's a few things I'd like to talk about cons for this bike. I've been told I don't give enough bad things about it or about the other bikes, but I can only talk from my experience. So my biggest one is the tail light. The fact that all this wiring is right under that plate, kind of in the way, hard to get to, that's a big con for me, and I think it's going to be for other people. Now, if you were to add probably like 3 to 4 inches in the wiring harness for the tail, it would tuck it right underneath the piece of plastic that holds the seat, and that would put it out of the way and easy to connect. Now, the second thing I have an issue with on this bike is your headlight. So the headlight has no adjustments. So at night, I'll throw up a clip of us riding at night, but you cannot adjust it. And that would be solved if we could somehow have some kind of screw or something you turn and it would tilt it back and forth. Get some adjustment out that headlight, because that angle is all you get, and to me it's not perfectly straight. And here we are, we've made it to our location. Let's go get a protein shake. Never going through the drive-thru on my bike, so let's see. What's going on? Can I have a 20-ounce peanut butter and jelly strawberry? All right, thank you. You too. All right, we're gonna put it right there. Look at that. Bet you didn't even see that. That doesn't come with the bike. That is an aftermarket thing. But I thought for this occasion, it'd probably be worth it and come in handy. Oh, that's good. Now that we have lunch, maybe we should take a stroll on campus. So back to our things I would change or cons. A lot of these are cosmetic and some of them are not necessary, but the color. So I'm cool with the color. I like it. And if you change the fenders, you'd have to change the graphics. I understand production-wise it would be expensive, but a different graphic option for those who want it would be good. I almost get hit every time I'm in this parking lot. It is crazy how college kids just don't know how to drive or aren't paying attention in a parking lot. This is a good spot to check the other thing out. So the tail light doesn't turn off. That's a no for me. Like I mean it's a running light because you're gonna, if you put plates, but I'd like a hidden kill switch. There should be a switch somewhere that you hit it and that light goes dark. Even if it's periodically, but I'd like to be able to turn that off. That's another thing that I would like to have on this bike. I have two more things, and this is maybe personal preference, I don't know, but it seems like everybody wants to put supermotos on these bikes. I think we should give more of an option. So I feel like electric bikes should come with dual sport tires instead of motocross tires. Even if you're saying that this is an e-moto, most people ride it on the road, and especially if you can put a plate on this. So dual sport would be a lot better, and then you can make the decision. Do you want to ride in the dirt? Do you want to ride on the street? Which one, you want to go with? It just, to me, I think we should give that. Oh, I think we should give that option. This horn is really close to the signals. If you're wondering about throttle response, I did want to say it's pretty snappy. There's not really a lag that I can feel. I'm sure there's some better ones out there, but the turn back is pretty good. Now the last thing that I'm going to talk about, I don't know if you can hear it or not, especially because of my mic, but whatever the converter box is right in front of the battery right here, underneath the controller, it makes almost like a whining noise, almost like a gearbox. And I'm not sure what that is or why it's doing it, but it only does it once you've reached a certain speed and you're kind of coasting. And it's not the regen, because the regen is actually off. He's probably like, man, I want a sip of something. Not a lot of bikes have cup holders on them. but me and my wife's bikes do because we live in Louisiana. So sometimes you need a water bottle. Sometimes you gotta carry a water bottle with you. So I have been taking the streets a lot more, and you feel so exposed on this bike versus like the other ones because I'm always kind of trying to stay on the sidewalk. I will take the bike lane though. So we're on campus now. This is UL's campus, and you can kind of check out what's going on. It's around lunch, so most people are not in class right now. But it's pretty bare over here. Definitely getting a lot of crazy looks being on the street. I'm seeing people in cars. I don't know if I can zoom in on it. The guy across the street over there definitely looked at me and like, man, I wish we could switch places. Some dual sports right there. I know one of the guys works there, drives that white bike. I don't know who that red bike's for. Yeah, we're gonna dip off right here. As fun as it is riding, you know, with traffic, and I don't like being around that many cars because everybody's on their phone, nobody's paying attention. That's my normal path. We're gonna go this way. Oh, drink is still with us. I forgot it was down there. Going a little fast for that. So my last thing that I'm going to cover that is just something for me is the bars. The bars seem to be pretty straight, and it puts me in kind of a lean forward angle. I would like to see a little bit taller bars, maybe 2-inch. It should come with maybe like 2-inch riser bars. I just feel like it's slightly forward, and if you're a taller rider than me, I'm 5'7", so if you're 6 foot or something, you're going to want it to be a little bit higher, but yeah, I would definitely change that. And I know a bunch of those things like would be technically cosmetic. I haven't had the bike for that long. We only have 43 miles on the bike, so I'm still in that break-in period, and as I discover things, I will let you know. We're going to be taking things off again. The distance test, I know that's a big one, the most boring video to make, but the distance test, I'm actually going to have to do 2, or I'm not sure. How would y'all like me to do distance? Because there's 2 ways to do distance, and that is the normal way that I do it, which is going 20 miles an hour, or I think it's staying under 28. So staying under 28 miles an hour and getting the distance to drain the battery, which is boring for this bike, but for other bikes, it's comparable. So to compare this bike to the X2, the only way you can do that is going about the same speed limit and draining the battery accordingly. The other option is do a ride where I just ride around in traffic and all over, and I see what distance that I can get that way, which is kind of how the electric cycle rider, I think is the channel. That's how they did their battery test. They were riding actually in the trails, which gives a more realistic number of riding rough and riding this as an e-moto.
Charging station is around here?
Yeah, it's on the other side. Yep, there's a charge point. You're welcome. So that's a Chrysler Pacifica, and he's parked all weird. There's another one. Is this on electric too? They must work for a company showing these cars, or put them on display. So I just helped those guys find the charging station, the Chrysler Pacifica they're driving. It's a new car that I've never seen before, but we had to plug it in. So I want to help them find it. All the tailgate stuff is still set up for the UL tailgate, and it's a shame. I don't know what's going on with the school, but they slowly pushed fraternities and sororities out of this area, and they've now separated them over there instead of like making them be more responsible adults. They just like hide them behind a curtain. And then they're pushing a lot of the people out of here, which is a shame. Like, I've had a good, fun time tailgating here, and the road right there is where the team comes in. They've bumped up the fee from either $400 or $600 to $6,000. Crazy. And I think it's just the way the university wants to bring in business and push out the everyday people, which seems like, you know, you kind of want the fans to stay. But, I mean, who am I? I don't know. I don't work for the university. All right, that's about it. We're gonna end it here, and yeah, I mean, we got some good numbers for speed. I went over a few things that kind of bugged me about the bike. Again, not enough hours on it to really give a hard opinion. I feel it's still in the break-in period, but it's definitely does not go what I said, the 68. So it looked like, I think we topped out with something like 59 point something, about 60 miles per hour. So yeah, we'll have to test it again on a full battery because I definitely messed up with my equipment. I'm sorry. Also, I want to say, Mom, I'm sorry for this video again. I know you're gonna see this, you'll be like, he did it again. I'm wearing gear. I'm being as careful as I can. So yeah, let's go ahead and end the video here. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope we got some numbers that are a little more conclusive, a little bit more about my opinion on the bike. And until next time, turn off your device and head out on a ride.